Erica, tell us how your cookies were.
They were pretty good, actually.
How were your cookies? Did you eat both or just one?
No, I tried a little bit of both. It's probably gonna take me, I'd say, 2 days to finish those 2 cookies. 2 or 3 days. I mean, I nibble at them.
Would you like to show our studio audience the cookies that you got?
They're in the back, actually. Yeah, I can't grab it.
I noticed that you were very happy upon eating those little cookies.
Yeah. I offered to share it with you.
I'm unfortunately unable to at this moment. No cookie for me.
Portion control, my thinking. But yeah, so we went to Crumble, and they have these amazing chocolate chip cookies. It's not the best chocolate chip cookie that I've tried. There's, I think if you ever went to Doubletree has really good chocolate chip cookies there. I think Toll House cookies are really good too, but Crumble, it's a very buttery chocolate chip cookie. It's a nice treat, but it's not something that, how would I put it this way?
The cookie connoisseur.
It's a pretty memorable cookie. I've tried cookies where it's like I try it once and I'm kind of like, eh, whatever.
It's a Let's Make a Happy Little Accident bumper sticker with a picture of Bob Ross on it. Oh. On that 1999 Toyota Camry. I really like that. Is that really a
Bob Ross quote?
Yes, let's make
Happy Little Accident. Oh, jeez.
I really like that. There's a Netflix documentary on how he got screwed or something.
Really? We should watch it. Yeah, we should watch it.
He made a lot of people feel happy about
to take the Massachusetts 213 ramp.
I'm gonna have a. I think they said they found like a lot of like Bob Ross paintings, or maybe I'm just remembering it like it was in a storage unit. What happened to his paintings anyway?
I'm not sure.
Kind of nice. Let's see, Bob Ross painting. Let's see. Why it's nearly impossible to buy an original Bob Ross painting. Oh, not for sale.
It was very sad to see that repair shop that we just left is not allowed to do board repairs or any LCD cell by itself or anything fun. Not because of the Apple authorized, but because their franchise doesn't allow them to.
Interstate 495 East. Now take the Massachusetts 213 East ramp on the right.
Like it's not that they're Apple authorized, but it's almost as bad as being Apple authorized that they're not allowed to do anything. I hope those kids start their own company. I really do. I hope they do a Sunny Revolt.
Wow, Ross did not get paid for his shows. But Bob Ross Inc., which he partially owned, used the platform to sell paints, art supplies, workshops, instructional videos, and merchandise. By 1991, it was grossing $15 million a year, which is $29 million a year enterprise.
So he didn't get paid for his show.
Yeah, but he used the platform to sell his merch, painting, you know.
So he was a rich man.
Yeah, he made $15 million a year. His business made $29 million today.
I mean, he made a lot of people happy. It wasn't just the painting; it was the manner in which he was able to calm down people during hard times in the world in their life that made him something. And I kind of wonder with board repair videos. I know people are not there for the board repair. That's very evident at this point. But I do kind of wonder if doing board repairs in a Bob Ross-like format is what people are actually looking for. Because the thing is, I know nobody's going to believe this, but I had never heard of Bob Ross until I started seeing my YouTube comments saying, this guy is like the Bob Ross of board repair. I never knew who he was. I had no idea who Bob Ross was. And then when I watched the video, it's like, wow, this is the exact same style. I wasn't trying to plagiarize it, but I think that's what people are tapping into. The stress relief of just watching someone who is happily going about their craft and making something work again or making something nice before they go back to doing whatever else they were doing with their day. Like some people smoke a cigarette to relax, and I think others would just watch someone who's a master at what they do take something that like an empty canvas and turn it into something beautiful as a form of relaxation.
Yeah. So listen to this. The reason, so he created for each show he did, he had to paint paint 3 versions of the same artwork. So he had to paint one before, one during the taping, and then one afterwards. I don't know why he had to do one after the taping, but he did. So during that time, during his life, he created 30,000 paintings. Isn't that crazy?
That's a lot.
30,000. I mean, the only person who rivals him would be Picasso, but Picasso only did 13,500. So Bob Ross did more paintings than Picasso, which is insane because you think Bob Ross is a really chill guy, right? He seems like it. But yeah, he was hustling. He was hustling in terms of those paintings. But none of them have been for sale, allegedly, because his company owns all of it, and they're preserving it. But they said it's worth millions of dollars.
More.
And yeah, so the company, his company has 154 copyrights, numerous trademarks on Bob Ross's name and likeliness, so they sell millions of dollars of Bob Ross merchandise. And then he leases out the paintings. 4 of them are at the Smithsonian.
That's nuts.
Yeah. But yeah, people do have it. When he was alive, he used to donate them to fundraisers and stuff. Before he became a star, Ross also sold thousands of his landscape paintings at flea markets, fairs, and malls, often for small sums of cash. So he bought some guy bought a Bob Ross painting at an Anchorage fair for $60. And yeah. And then they sold that $60 painting for $10,000.
Start their own business. They can, they just gotta believe in themselves. Use whatever skills dealing with people they learn from this business. I really thought everybody in that room was like 12 years old.
Yeah.
My kid said I'm 21, I'm 26. I went, what?
I was like, damn.
Okay. When I look in the mirror, I must have really gotten used to the idea that my face is normal when I'm old. Maybe it's something about this particular town. What was that called? Menuthin?
Yeah.
Methuen?
Menuthin, I think.
Menuthin.
I think.
How is Salem in New Hampshire and in Boston? That's interesting.
Wow. So Bob Ross, he never considered his paintings to be a commodity. He was about as uninterested in the actual paintings as you could possibly be. For him, it was the journey. He wanted to teach people. The paintings were just a means to do that.
What did he want to teach people?
How to paint. So Bob Ross usually completed his paintings in 30 minutes or less.
Oh, yeah, so the idea wasn't I'm creating a masterpiece. It's just I'm just going to randomly create something and
show people how to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like this is supposed to be the Mona Lisa of my time or anything. opening next I used to sell screens to 11 years ago. I remember speaking to the owner of the company. His son runs a small business, and he runs a large business that dealt with the Best Buys and all those. Very interesting person. Should be interesting to meet him.
Is that who we're seeing next?
Yep. Erica's an excellent saleswoman.
Awesome.
She holds the sheets and she gives out the cards, and she goes, "I hope you show up." But she looks them in the eyes with that tiger mom look, like, "I will be so fucking disappointed in you if you don't show up. I will come back here and call you a loser for the rest of your life, son." But it's your choice whether to show up, But you have that tiger mom stare, like, "I will be disappointed in you for eternity."
No.
You bum. Chase him with a broom and beat him. Because he didn't make it into Yale, kind of.
Usually what I do is I let him do the talking, because let's be honest here, nobody really cares about what I say. They're like, "Oh my gosh, that's Lois."
You're the munchkin.
Yeah, so.
Actually, Jess is the munchkin. I don't know what you are. Jessa always called.
I'm like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
When Jessa and I would go to these types of things, look at him passing me on the right. We do a little small dick Dodge pickup.
Oh, whatever.
It actually says "fuck off" on his bumper sticker.
Yeah, he probably hears you say fucking shit about him. Go on.
That's small dick driving right
whatever.
there. Look at how he just cut. Oh my god, he just cut in front of 3 people. Look, that guy.
It's just an a-hole driving.
That is like, he could have just went to the passing lane, but he couldn't. He had to go zigzag around everything.
So dangerous, but
it's one thing if you do that like at 15 or 20 miles an hour. Like, jeez.
yeah.
Pencil dick driving.
Oh.
What did I say? I forget what we were. Yeah, Jessa always referred to herself as the Munchkin in The Wizard of Oz. Like, nobody cared about the Munchkin. The Munchkin was just following along. And she would call herself the Munchkin.
Yeah.
I feel bad. People should care about Jessa. She's talented and she's good at what she does.
The sad thing is that Jessa's extremely knowledgeable, right?
And friendly.
But the thing is that one thing you learn about YouTube is it's not about how smart you are, it's about personality. So although Jessa comes off as that, like, "Hey, how's it going? Nice to meet you," kind of thing, people just seem to gravitate to Lewis and no.
And I'm an asshole. That's the thing. I don't get it. Jess is actually nice to people, but so many people dislike her because how she comes off online and in video is, I don't know what it is. It's bad, and she comes off and people don't like it. But in person, she's great. In like online, I come off as this saint, but in person, I'm a cunt.
No.
It's kind of reversed. Like, if you combine my online persona with Jess's in-person persona, you would have one likable human being. But I'm being serious.
The thing about Jessa is, at least what I pick up, is her videos, she explains things very clearly, very directly. She does not talk crap about someone else or make these kind of jokes.
Are you kidding?
Really.
Have you listened to her Drive Savers videos?
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, like,
she just backs her truck over them every single video.
But in terms of like charisma and stuff,
she was gonna back her truck over Linus after the Drive Savers video. I had to stop her from driving to Canada. She was like, "Which side of Canada's Linus on?" I said, "The left one." Oh. She was gonna drive her truck up there and back it over Linus.
Actually, that would have been great for a channel.
Aaron Harrington and her came up with a solution.
What?
Drive Savers took it and then claims that they came up with
I heard about that, yeah.
And then fucking used it for an ad spot. Like, that's a cunt thing to do. Not on Linus's part. Linus didn't know. On Drive Savers' part. Like, absolute bitch move.
Did you copyright it?
No.
Yeah, so they can run with it.
No, it's not about that. It's not about whether you're legally allowed to do it. It's about whether you're a cunt for doing it. Because there's a lot of things that you can do, but you're still a cunt for doing it.
Yeah, well, they would just say it's part of our operations.
Yeah, but you're claiming that you came up with it to the world. It's not just that you're claiming you came up to for one person. You're going on a channel with 13 million subscribers. Suck my dick, Elon. And you're telling them that you came up with it. Like, that's just douchey. Like, you're allowed to cheat.
Really came up with it, or if someone lied about it.
If I met a female fan, took her back to my hotel room while you were away, banged her, like, I'm legally allowed to do that, but that doesn't mean I'm not a cunt. You know? Also, we're assuming that I have a female fan. That's it.
All I know is that after that, you turn into Casper, the not-so-friendly ghost. gonna leave it at that. But yeah, so I think, yeah, I just kind of think the whole drive savers thing. I don't know much about drive savers. I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
They
but
suck.
I just kind of think that they're very
Overpriced and shitty.
They're very smart in how they approach things because they make it sound like, ooh, look, we're top tier. We got these little suits on. And then there's also, you know, a business side to things that I was hearing about, and I was just kind of like, whoa. So, like, it's all about the facade, right? You make it sound like, what's it called? Like super, super, super clean room stuff, and people think like, oh, well, they want that price premium because it sounds like they're military grade, like the best, like the closest thing you can get to.
You don't want the best when it comes to data
CSI or something like that, you know.
You don't want that type of best. Like it's security theater.
It sounds like that though, right?
And it's like when it's like when stores have these videos and all the COVID masking and the gloves and the alcohol and everything, and like the security theater crap.
But it works. It does. It gets people thinking like, oh, okay, well, my pictures are very important to me. And Apple says they can't do it, and I don't want to send it to some guy who,
Level connected. They changed all the names of all the exits. It's beyond frustrating. Here we go.
But yeah,
you see how every sign it says old exit number? That was like what the exit was called in 1600 when this town was formed and all the houses were last maintained. But then they have that, and then they have under it the new exit name. I'm sorry, Eric, I interrupted you. That was rude of me. I apologize. What were you saying?
Drive Savers is really smart at what they do, and I understand why they're successful. It's like I said, it's all about, like you said, right? It's about dramatics. It's about theater. It's about when people think about, I want to preserve I want to recover my invaluable data. If they get a quote of a couple $1,000s, they're gonna say, "Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it."
A lot of people don't because they want 8,000 or 10,000. They got so greedy with it; it's insane.
Yeah,
they want $1,000 for phones that had nothing but bad charge ports. That's just scum. Like that's scumbag
it's
shit.
Opportunist. At the end of it, though, I'm not gonna blame Drive Savers for that mentality as much as people might shit on me for it.
They should shit on you for it. It's a shitty thing to do to your fellow human being.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't because it's a business.
Yes, it is.
It is a business. If your
don't business
get your
is ripping people off, then you fucking deserve to get run over.
If your business does not have marketing so other people know about Drive Savers, then in my opinion, you got to work on your marketing.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that's okay that they're ripping people off. Like,
you know what? They could say this is the price we're charging. I could charge $2,000 for a popsicle if I want.
It's $1,000 for you, but the thing is, you're telling them, I'm giving you a popsicle.
Yeah.
They're not telling you when they recover your data that what they did is they replaced the charge port, which is a 2-year-old could do. It's not even like a board repair that was finished fast because you had 10 years of experience to be able to do that quickly. If it was a board repair and it was difficult, but you did it quickly because you knew the answer from 10 years of experience, that's one thing. When you change a charge port in a phone, that's something a toddler can do. Like literally a toddler could troubleshoot that fucking problem. And for them to charge $1,000 for a charge port is scumbag shit. That's karma. Yes, it is. And you have no business ethics. That's the problem. That's why I can't fuck with you when it comes to business ethics, because you have none.
No, but this is the way I see it. This is the way I see it, okay? They're gonna say your whatchamacallit is not working, right? Your drive is not working, or this is not working, we're gonna make it right. And they're gonna say, how much does it cost? And they'll say, well, these are our rates. If you agree to these rates and you don't get a second opinion, I can't really feel sorry for a person.
How can you not feel sorry for someone when they went to someone that was trusted?
Trusted, because
like they built up trust, and then they started scamming people after they got that trust. So they built up trust with a reputation, and once they had the reputation, they started charging people $1,000 for phones that had a bad charge port. So they got trust. That's the exact same thing as your wife trusts you, and once your wife trusts you, you start cheating. Like, it's the same fucking principle.
There's Google reviews. There's Yelp reviews. There's things like that. There's word of mouth.
Enter here.
Drive Savers, unless I'm not correct, it seems like they're a pretty damn profitable business.
They are profitable.
Their margin is very high.
But how you make your profit is what's important. They make their profits by fucking people.
Look, if I told you, hey, something's wrong with your computer, I'm gonna make it right again, and they're like, oh, so what are you gonna do? I'm working right. Oh, okay, so what are your rates? I'm gonna charge you $2,000 for it. They can say, go fuck yourself, Erica. I'm gonna get a second opinion. If they choose to go with me and not get a second opinion, they made their own choice. I'm not forcing someone to give money to me if they would choose to give me $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. So would I feel guilty if I say up front, these are my rates, I'm going to fix it? Now, if they said, okay, well, I'm going to change this part and this part and this part, but I don't do it, then yes, that's misleading.
You're justifying being a scumbag. That's what you're doing.
What I'm saying is that those are their rates. They're sticking with their rates, and if they're not breaking any laws.
They're not breaking any law. Neither is cheating.
Are they saying that we're going to do this repair, and then they don't do that kind of repair? Are they saying that we're going to do logic board repair?
They're misleading people that don't know any better.
But those are the rates. People, like I said, people choose to do that. There's some painting companies, for instance, who will say, okay, we're going to charge you X amount to paint your house. And they're going to be really up there. And then there's going to be other people who will say,
you know what they're doing. They're painting your house.
Yeah, you know they're
Here, you would not have gone for data recovery if you knew that your device had a bad charge port. That's being a scumbag. If you go to a doctor and because you have chest pain and they say we're going to replace your heart, when in reality the only problem that you had is that you ate something shitty that morning. And then once you're done with it, they say, by the way, don't eat what you ate this morning. Like, you misdiagnosed, you're fucking them over. Technically, you're fixing their problem. Their problem was I have pain in my chest, but the way you did it was completely fucked up and wrong. That's unethical.
I think
here's the thing. Would you be okay with it if it happened to you? And you're going to say yes because you're biased, because you have this opinion already, but you would never want someone doing that to you, ever.
This is the part where I think it's a little murky, okay? If I don't know exactly what they're saying when they give these prices. Are they saying this is your issue, this is your issue, this is your issue, this is what we're going to charge? They don't tell you what
their issue is. They say you need your data back. Okay, we got your data back. Okay. They don't tell. Now, it's okay to not tell someone how you got the data back. Okay. I'm okay with that. Yeah. But if it's something like a fucking charge port in a phone and you change the charge port and it works again, that's scumbag shit. That's absolute scumbag shit to charge them the full fucking rate.
Let me ask you this.
And here's the thing, they need to do that because their marketing costs are so high. So it may have cost them $400 to get that customer in the door via marketing. That's their business model. What I'm saying is that it's a scumbag business model because I've had enough people send phones to us that went to Drive Savers where they said no, where was the fucking charge port? And you could tell that they did not do any board rework. There was no rework done on the motherboard of the device. Like, it's not like they fixed it and then they just put a bad charge port in there because the customer declined repair. You could see that there was no maintenance done to the board. And when that happens enough times, it's like, gee, fuck you people.
Wait, so you mean they sent it to Drive Savers? Drive Savers said they fixed it?
No, Drive Savers gave them a quote for about $1K. Okay. The customer said no, and then they send it here, and it's a fucking charge port. Okay. Like, that's disgusting. That's scumbag shit. That's scumbag shit.
But what did Drive Savers say was the issue? Did they ever say?
No, they just say, they don't tell you what it is. You want data, and here's the thing, we don't tell people what the issue is either when it comes to data recovery. We don't say what it is, we did. But if they're coming in for data recovery, when the only thing that is keeping this from working is like a basic thing, I do not bill them $1,000 or $2,000. Like, we'll say, oh, by the way, you expected it to be $400, it's $100, or $50, it was just a charge port or something. Like, we charge up to, $1,000 for phone data recovery if it's a CPU swap or something. I'm not trying to say that a specific, like, I'm not saying that you are a ripoff because you said soldering is $500 instead of $300. That's like because that's opinionated stuff, and that's always going to be something where there's conflict. But if someone's sending something into you, and they believe it's data recovery, they don't think it's just a basic issue with a charge port, and a charge port is a toddler repair, toddler diagnosis and toddler repair, and you say it's $1,000, that's fucked up. Like, there are board repairs that I do in 90 seconds because, 1,000 hours of experience taught me that enough that I could do it in 90 seconds. But a charge port is different. A charge port is something that you could learn how to do in 90 seconds. Like, it's not a brain burning repair.
Do you think that they do that because they have like a tier system? So they say our minimum cost to repair anything will be $1,000. So if you want to bring it to our company, we'll fix it, but we're going to charge you at least $1,000. Kind of like an Apple model, where they got tier 1, tier 2, tier 3.
I think it purely stems from the fact that they have an insane marketing cost. To getting people in the door actually costs them hundreds upon hundreds of dollars per customer. Their customer acquisition cost is insane because they pay out high commissions to people that refer them business. So they need to recoup that, and the way they recoup that is by having a flat fee. Now, it's one thing to have and everybody's going to have a different definition of when this is a ripoff. Is it a ripoff when it was an easier board repair than you thought and you just charged a flat fee? Some people would say if I charge $250 for a board repair and it was just one chip, that's a ripoff, and that's on them. That's their right. They can think that. But I draw my line at $1,000 for a charge board. I don't think that there's anybody in this industry that has any ethics that would defend that. I can't think of a single person that would defend $1,000 to replace a charge port when someone comes in for data recovery. Because the thing is, they're coming to you believing that they have a data recovery problem. They're not coming into you believing they have a parts problem. Now you could say that's on them. They're an idiot for not getting a second opinion or a third opinion or a fourth opinion. But why do we have to be in a world filled with piranhas and sharks where you are constantly have to protect yourself because you never know when Eugene is around? Especially when it's a place that's reputable. Again, they have a reputation. Why they have a fucking reputation is beyond me. I think that the shit that they do is scumbag shit.
You know why they have a reputation? Because when we go to repair shops, they have brochures that say go to Drive Savers. So I find it kind of funny because...
And they pay them for that, by the way.
No, but you have repair shops who know this kind of stuff, and they're saying, unless they're completely unaware about what Drive Savers does, they're recommending their customers to go to Drive Savers. What do you think about that? When you have actual repair shops who are telling people, if you want your data, go to Drive Savers, knowing that they overcharge, knowing that they get a commission, a high commission.
I don't think all of them know. I don't think that they know how badly they screw over some people. That's the thing.
Have you made a video on it?
Jess has made many.
Yeah, but nobody... I hate to be rude, but...
You're going to say nobody watches Jess?
Nobody really...
Oh,
Jessa's videos...
Press F in the chat for Jess.
No. Here's the thing, okay?
Jess, I didn't say it.
Jessa, look. The thing about Jessa is her videos has less likelihood going viral than your videos, for whatever reason. I'm not saying Jessa doesn't make good videos. I'm just saying for whatever reason, Jessa becomes a munchkin. So, if you made a video, Lewis, and you spoke about this because you talk about right to repair, right? And you talk about business ethics and everything, don't you think it's kind of strange if you got a store who's like, yeah, I believe in right to repair, but I recommend Drive Savers?
I don't think that they are fully aware of the fact that Drive Savers has billed people $1,000 for a charge board. I don't think that there's enough awareness out there.
Are you going to change that?
I think it would be seen as petty. It's because they're a direct competitor to me. Apple I don't see as a competitor to me because they don't do any of the work that I do. So they're not a competitor. It's like they don't do board repair. They don't do any of the stuff that I do. I don't see them as a competitor. Drive Savers is a direct competitor to my business because I do hard drive data recovery, and so do they. I do iPhone data recovery, and so do they. Well, they don't. They sent it out to some dude in London, but that's neither here nor there. But the thing is, they're a direct competitor, so it's going to seem like it's going to seem petty, and I think it would reflect poorly on me versus actually getting the point across to people who watch my video. A lot of people are going to go, well, he has a direct interest in saying that these people suck. Because with Apple, I shit on Apple a lot, but they don't do what I do. It's not competition. When you go to Apple, they don't recover your data. There's no amount of money you could give them to recover your data on your T2 chip board. So there's not, which is probably why it would probably be a stupid idea for me to even post this video. Maybe not. Maybe I should. Maybe I should post this video. What do you think, Eric?
I think it's a good discussion. Because then people would say, okay, you got two different sides over here, right? I also wonder, though, if you say that you don't compete with Apple, you actually do compete with Apple, because although they replace parts, they replace logic boards and you fix logic boards, at the end of the day, the consumer wants a working logic board. So their first reaction is gonna be, do I go to Apple or do I go to an independent repair store like yours? And chances are they go to you because they know that you tend to be cheaper than Apple. Or they want to, instead of having the whole thing replaced, they're going to say, okay, let me reduce the amount of e-waste. Maybe I can get a capacitor fuse or wires or put in and that kind of stuff. But yeah, you definitely do compete with Apple. Apple is your competitor. I'm not talking about repairs, but in terms of getting a computer fixed. every time someone brings a computer that has water damage to your store, it's taking business away from Apple. Because they would have done that with their little, Genius Bar kind of thing.
Yeah, they just replaced the whole system, though. It's not even a similar solution.
But it's still making sure the computer works, right?
They're giving you another one.
Do they pay the money? No, you can go ahead and get water damage fixed at Apple. I think it costs $700, $800.
Yeah, they don't give you back your computer, though.
No, they replace the board.
Yeah, and the screen, and the keyboard, and the display, and the battery, and that's not your computer at that point.
It's still your computer, depending on what it has parts replaced.
There's more of it is not your computer than is your computer.
Okay.
But I get your point. Yeah, I guess your point. So what would be different about doing it with a company like Drive Savers? I suppose Drive Savers is not publicly traded and they're not $1 trillion company, so maybe the reason it would be viewed as poorly is A, we compete closer. We definitely compete on a closer level than me versus Apple. Mm-hmm. And B, even though they're not the little, it would be perceived as me picking on the little guy versus me picking on somebody, instead of being a David and Goliath, it's like, I don't know, David versus, Erica Stalker or some shit.
Well,
that guy was a pipsqueak.
I think that when you talk about Drive, I'm not too familiar. I hear about Drive Savers a lot. I see the brochures all over the place. I see the commission things.
It's great marketing. It's quality marketing.
I see people say, I have the brochures here because I want to get the commission, but I do agree that they are overpriced. And I don't remember what store said it. It was outside of Massachusetts. But there are certain repair stores that do promote Drive Savers in their referral program.
There's money in it.
But they don't agree completely with Drive Savers. And there you would say, okay, so if you kind of feel this way about Drive Savers, why are you recommending Drive Savers instead of maybe your local data recovery place? Because there are data recovery places locally and other places in the country. The fact is money talks. Like, that's the thing that people probably don't want to.
Some repair shops have they get a higher commission from Drive Savers than what Steve actually charges the end customer for the data recovery.
Yeah, but if you're charging thousands of dollars, right? It'll be like, this data recovery might only be like $600 at another store, but I'll recommend Drive Savers.
Turn right onto what?
I'll recommend Drive Savers because although they might charge $5,000, if a person goes through with it, maybe I'd get a couple $100 commission.
Now bear right onto Plank Street.
Plank Street.
But that's a kind of thing.
What do you think of this town? Also, look at the trees that are falling down. How often do you think those trees fall down on cars over there?
I hope they cut them down mostly.
No, look at how tall and skinny those are, and some of them look old. And
they should actually clear them out more back.
No, look, over there you got a couple that fell. Look, there's one that fell. There's two that are tipped over. That one over there is, man, that's dangerous.
They're hoping the trees in front protect the trees, the back and the fall. But the problem is what happens when the tree in the front falls and then it goes on the road.
Can you imagine if that becomes a domino effect?
Look at this. You can't see it.
Look at that. I gotta drive.
There's a down power line around here.
Okay.
But, so...
I wonder if this place is gonna be open. It would suck if I show up there and just like, sorry, a tree fell on our fountain.
No.
Maybe that's why I didn't get back to my email.
What? We had electricity and then a fallen tree came in. He's gonna be, I know what you're talking about, my store, but I think it depends how people see things because
turn right onto Dunham Road, then your destination.
Independent repair stores, I imagine, of course, they're much smarter than I am when it comes to this technical stuff, and they could say, well, I've heard about the stories, but people have to make their own decisions. If people are choosing to go into independent repair instead of Apple, that kind of implies the reason why they did that is because they wanted to get a second opinion, or they're aware that Apple can charge more.
Where am I going?
Now your destination is on the left.
Fuck.
What?
Why did she said left? I made a right turn. I'm a dumb.
Oh, I was gonna say we are not going to a transport place, are we?
Yeah, we go. We're in there. We're in that place.
That's it.
No, it's a place where you got a bunch of different businesses all.
I was gonna say.
You take a look at it. It's gonna have a list of all the different places that are there. So you look, and that's the sign. See that? Can you read that, Erica?
Which one am I looking at? There's Dunham Road, Progress, Dunham Enterprise.
Well,
Oh,
we gotta figure out what the entrance is. This will be fun.
What's the name of the place?
Micro Replay. I used to sell screens to them 11 years ago.
I got this is an electric company.
In the wrong place.
A circle?
We go for a circle. Anyway, that's it for today, and as always, I hope that you learned something. I'll see you all.